Okay, so I wanted to really start the whole point of today was to go over what rewilding is. So I've recently been using the term rewilding because my background is ecology and conservation. That's what I did at uni. And so I worked in the rainforest. I worked in Brazil and in Congo when I was there doing conservation work. And rewilding isn't a term used very often, but we would use it when we're wanting to bring an area of natural, of nature, back to its original state. So back to its wild state. And that always really resonated with me, because it was like, not creating something like we do in the world. I feel like we're forever creating things into stuff. Yeah, everybody's innovating, and we've got technology bringing up new phones and new gadgets all the time. But the process of this was to get all of human interaction, all of human intervention totally out of the way. So what did that look like before humans came along? Or before there was like a foreign species introduced. So a lot of the time it'd be like a foreign species accidentally got introduced by humans, or they brought it over, like bamboo in Brazil, that's not native, and it was just ravaging the forests. So really trying to support a return back to its ecosystem. And I love this word, ecosystem. So it's always been something that, although it's really not used very often, I think I'd heard it a couple of times recently, and it reminded me of how much I love that idea. I mean, the idea of bringing wolves back to Scotland, I mean, oh my God, is so cool. And so in my quest to really try and help people feel better and get back to their own balance, it really made sense to use that same term. We are nature. And I think that often we can be trying to change something. Yeah, we think that, oh, I'll do this new diet, I'll do this new thing to make me remember things better, I'll do this new thing where I'm going to get a new job and then I'll work less hours. But there's always things that we want to do that are more kind of changing us and bringing us into something else. Whereas I think we can really try and simplify it and just bring it back to us as we were before, our nature, our true nature. And our true nature, the insights that I've had in my own experience of this through meditation and yoga and shamanic training and energy healing, and all the work that I've done since I was young, really naturally came to this from a young age, using plant medicines. Even when I was at uni and nobody really knew what they were, we went into the Amazon jungle to find ayahuasca and be able to experience that kind of return, that rewilding. So I really want to share this. I feel like that's been the making of me, and is the more that I come back to that and just take away the layers of stuff that I've added on to try and get somewhere, I realize that I'm coming back to myself and back to my potential. So I know for some people, the interest in a course like this or something supported would be to realize their potential. Yeah, so some people will be doing something and feel like they're not fulfilling their potential fully, or not knowing how to quite get there. And so by coming back to your true nature, you're kind of aligning with your soul's purpose, your nature, what you're supposed to be doing. And I say supposed to in the loosest terms, not a mental supposed to, but like you do it and you know that that's what you're supposed to be doing, or how you're supposed to feel. So I think this really fits in our modern life. I think we've come so far away from this, and the sickness that we all feel, that a lot of us are experiencing different ways. So this could be anxiety, stress, depression, chronic illnesses, which are becoming so kind of normalized. So every day now, I hear all the time people coming down with whether it's chronic fatigue or fibromyalgia, or things that are basically their body telling them that their system isn't working in the way that they're pushing it to. And then we have things obviously like us struggling with our weight and our health and our fitness, and then mental incapacitation, where we feel like we're just taking on too much. So that's a really fancy word for basically feeling overwhelmed and not being able to do anything. So in wellness coaching, I recently had a client, and she won't mind me mentioning this. She just couldn't get on and do anything. She just got to the point where she felt so crap that she just wanted to stay in bed. And I know that we all have days like that. I have days like that. Before I really came back into my rewilding and revisited it all again, knowing that it had worked for me before, I was having times where I just felt like my whole life that I'd created was something that I couldn't understand how I'd come to that. I knew that I'd created that, and it was just insurmountable for me to get on with my day every day, because I just had too much to do, too many things I'd said yes to, too many people that I was supporting, and then I myself was at the bottom of the priority list. And so eventually that is going to break. Yeah, that system of us being at the bottom just breaks. And so sometimes people come to doing a course and having like support like this because they've already broken, and things have got really bad. So sometimes this can be that their physical body just gives up on them, or they just feel overwhelmed, or just struggling with the same things over and over again. Or it can really be something like tragedy strikes. Yeah, they do something awful because they're run down. So I had a chap once come to me for coaching who had been in a car accident and actually endangered other people's lives because he was drinking and not sleeping well and working too much. So he was knowing that was his wake-up sign. So he was like trudging along thinking, this is crap, but not doing anything about it. And he just came bam up against his wall, his sign. So I really want us to find whatever way we're coming to this, to realize that that's not really important. That's our drive. But what's important is that we're knowing that we're ready to say yes to something different. And that something different is something that we all know deep down, and that just our kind of culture, our society, the way that we're brought up just doesn't support. If you look, you can see where it's grounded, because we come from what's the first thing we ask children when they go to school? Day one of school, what do you want to be? And we're asking them what they want to be in terms of a job that fits an economic model of growth. Yeah, not what are you really dreaming of? Those things that we kind of often give them as categories are things that are for the benefit of capitalism and consumerism, not necessarily whether they're happy or not. And we're also asking them as children to focus on the future. So we've all been there. We've all been through that same system where we're forever future-based, whether it's the end of the degree or the next job, or the next holiday, the next time I get a lie-in, the next time, when the kids are old enough and we can go away. So there's all these things that we're just constantly waiting for, and not living in the now. So this is really going to be an immersion into finding little things in your everyday that can help you ground back into that nature. And we're also going to talk about what we're drawn to in terms of our connection. So connection for most of us is through a screen. So I'm doing this through a screen right now. So in some ways, screen time and connection this way is brilliant. I can be talking to you while you're sat at home and telling you all about this. I can talk to my friends in Australia or America. So that way it's fabulous. But I feel like we've become, this sickness that I was talking about is wrapped up in that our connection is now mental. It's all mental. If you're on a screen all the time, that's your mind thinking. It's not in your body. You're not in your heart. You're not in your soul. We're just working from one of our energy places, our mind, our thinking mind. And we've just become so wrapped up in this. Yeah, we're in a virtual world forever, but we don't live in a virtual world. We're here in our body, and it's like we've just forgotten that. So through the course, I'm going to give you some tips, and we're going to do some experiences together to really ground and find that connection with nature. There's going to be some meditations, and we're going to use the elements in this way to connect with nature, to find our balance in each of our elements. So we'll have yoga and meditation that balance with those elements, as well as other experiences and activities and journaling. But what I want to do is offer it to you guys in a way that's manageable for you. I know that most people are coming to this from a busy place, and I really feel you on that. And so what I don't want is for it to be like a theoretical overload of all the things that you should be doing. It is not going to be that. It's going to be an experience, an immersion for you guys to do at your own pace. So we'll have a Zoom meeting each week, but that will be recorded, and it will offer you in chunks for you to carve out those times. So it's all about carving out that time to come back to ourselves. And I think that's something really important that for me personally, it's taken me a long time to learn. And I've really benefited from the courses and things that I've done, following on people that have already been there and done that. And I think that coming to this from such a young age, it's kind of just deep within me. And I feel like that is something that I've been born to share. Yeah, my passion for nature, my passion for connection, and for us all knowing that we have got this peaceful, inner, joyous, pleasure-loving part of us right within, and that's our soul, that's our true nature. So we don't need to go anywhere else to find that. We've just got to get rid of all the crap on the top and get back to our heart space. So I think that kind of covers where I'm coming from with the course. I'm going to sent out some information already about kind of exactly what we'll be getting into. So Zoom meetings and yoga and meditation and experiences following the elements. There'll be lots of things for you to ponder over, and for those to be done in little pockets of your day. So when you've got 5 minutes of quiet, you can just sit down and get the benefit. And some of the practices that I do, I'm going to share with you that really help, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes, just kind of set the reset button. And we've all got the ability to do that in our mind. So I'm going to teach you how to do that. And that's probably been the main thing that I've learned that has helped me the most with my relationships, with my job, with any stress when I'm busy. And it also just starts to create that space around everything, so that even when you're busy, you start to carve out time for yourself that you didn't possibly think you had. It also helps, we're going to talk about dreams. So the last thing is that we are going to talk about our dreams, even as small or as big as they are, because all of this will help you find your potential. So a lot of us are really thinking small. We just want some peace and quiet. And I really understand that. But what will probably, actually, I say definitely come out of this is a renewed inspiration for the things that you love and that your dreams at your heart as an individual. So this is going to be really, really exciting. And I can't wait to see all these things come out and watch everybody rewild and blossom. So, yeah, I think that's it really. I'm not going to keep you guys much longer. We're going to do a workshop in a couple of weeks and cover some of these experiences. I think that relaxing is going to be a big part of that workshop and a big part of the immersion as well, finding little ways to really relax. So coming back to our nature means activating that sense of rest and rejuvenation. If we were back in the wild, living in a wilderness way, we would be, if you think about it, we would be foraging for food and doing anything we needed to survive, but then we would be in a state of rest. We'd be playing and dancing and singing and moving. And that is really what feels best, what our system, our biological system, but also our energetic system is made up to do, to be more in our body, to move those emotions and feelings through, and to have the time out of our mind back into our body. And nature is a great teacher for that. So we use nature as our base, the elements. And I'm also going to send you out a lovely little gift box with some symbols of these elements and some other little things for you to use during this immersion. So I've literally poured my heart into this. I cannot wait to share it. I'm just so excited. I can't believe I've waited this long, really. The only reason I've waited is the same reason that most of you are probably waiting to do this course. Yeah, it's that feeling of whether you're worthy. I guess I wasn't feeling worthy enough of offering this, of stepping into the limelight enough to really guide this, even though I knew I'd been thinking and talking and dreaming about it for probably years now. This is like a real dream for me. So, you know, wisdom since I was a kid, and I'm sharing it now. And we always manage, I think, to make an excuse of why we can't do that amazing thing that we dream of, or step into the limelight, or really prioritize ourselves. So yeah, when you're stepping in and saying yes, I'm feeling you on that, because I'm also stepping in and saying yes. So thank you for listening, and I'll open it up for any questions. We just had some questions from people here live on the chat this evening on the masterclass, and some amazing fab questions. So I'm just going to run over the questions and give you a little bit more detail. I think these are things that could be really key that you also might all be asking, but feel free to drop me a message. We can set up a clarity call, or I can just answer your questions on email or message. So one of the first questions was whether these sessions will be in person. So I've planned this course since last year, and obviously we were then on and off in lockdown. So the first answer to that is really simply that no, but the second answer is also yes. So at the moment, the plan of the course is to do each of the sessions, the Zoom sessions that we'll have, whether they be doing journaling or meditation or yoga, each week will be done on Zoom. But there's going to be two that I'd really love to do together. So an outdoor activity that I'd like to get us together and do, and also our dream board creating will also be one of the activities that we do together in person, if possible. So we'll be keeping in touch about that as the course goes on, and nearer the time we'll make decisions. I think as it looks now, as long as we're all close enough, we can all come together. And if there's people further away that are joining onto this course, or not even in the UK, that's absolutely wonderful. We will be also recording a session for you guys and doing that part. We'll make the interactive and live audience work together. So I also had a question about people feeling stuck at the moment because of lockdown. So obviously a lot of things have been cancelled, reworked. I know this. I'm running a retreat, and it was supposed to be in November, and then in January, and then March, and here we are in March, and it still hasn't been able to happen. So I really feel for you on that, and I just want to tell you that it's really normal to feel like that, and this course is really going to be a kind of antidote to that. Yeah, I guess it's what it's born out of. I was seeing clients over and over again, normally repeating a lot of the same ground issues of feeling unconnected, unhappy, dealing with chronic illnesses and stress and anxiety, and not knowing their dreams, not really knowing what they want to do, and feeling lost. And I just want to say that I really hear you on this, and I'm really sending a lot of my love out to you all, and I'm really excited to be able to share this course, because I know that this is going to kind of soothe some of those feelings. It's been a really tough year for everybody in lots of different ways. And I think coming together on something like this, where we're really getting back to our nature, we're kind of taking away that whole upper level of stuff and conditioning, and kind of the energy that's been around has not been a really good feel. So we're going to get beneath that and really back into our soul and our heart, into our body, with movement and meditations and just coming together. So I'm really hoping, or I know that will soothe a lot of that and give us a bit of direction. And we all know that if we sign up to something, we were actually just talking about this, when we sign up to something, it usually means that we actually do it. Yeah, if we think that, oh, okay, I'll go and do those activities, or those things that I know are good, like a morning ritual, we just don't get into doing them, do we? But in this container that I'm going to create for you, in this immersion, I want us to find ways. I'm going to show you ways of being able to do that. And because you're showing up and you've got accountability, that isn't to make it feel pressured, but it gives us that drive to follow through the things that we want to do. And so that we see the results of feeling better, and it becomes easier and easier for those to be our new habits. So to get some of that clarity around that as well, clarity about what you're wanting. And then the last thing was dreaming. So we just discussed that dreaming can be a really big obstacle. So a lot of the time we might have dreams and we've either forgotten them. So firstly, we may have forgotten that we even have any dreams. I know some people think that they don't have dreams. And I think that we all do have something in our soul, in our deepest level, that we know that we are kind of supposed to be working towards. And I don't mean supposed to in a kind of, again, and not in a kind of mental pushed, pressured way, but like that we're here to do that, our purpose. And your dreams are part of that. Yeah, whatever makes you feel good, whatever you love doing, whatever feelings you love, whatever things inspire you and draw you, they're your dreams. And so I'm going to help you find those things. And an obstacle, even if we do know them, can often be the how. Yeah, well, like, okay, this is what I dream of, but I'm not going to get there because of X, Y, and Z. But we don't need to worry about the how when we dream. So part of the dreaming in this, part of one of our exercises is going to be all about how to move away from worrying about the how and just getting really into the dream, making that really felt in your body, and this being a way of drawing all those things towards you. Don't worry about the how. If it's a dream you have and you set it out there, and I'm going to show you how to manifest, just keep aiming towards it with your daydreams and that good feeling for, and any of the how issues that come up, any of the how questions come up in your mind when you do dream, or any fears, just let them be there, let them acknowledge them, and then just remind yourself of a good thing or a good feeling that's going to come out of that dream as if it's already here. So that freedom, that joy, that excitement that you'll have, that feeling of satisfaction that you're sharing or doing the thing that you just long to do deep in your core, focus on that feeling. And that's the way to, surefire way to get towards our dreams. So I'm going to wrap up there, guys. Thank you to everyone who joined on this evening and listened to, and to those of you listening to the recording as well. If you've got any other questions, do drop me a message, drop me an email, or sign up for a call. I'm here to answer your questions. And you know what? Just doing this has just made me even more excited about this course. This container that we're going to create, that I'm going to hold for you, is just such a nourishing, open, loving environment. And it's something that is my purpose, yeah, to create these environments. I run retreats, and I'm really dreaming of a retreat center holding an actual physical place to hold space for people. And I just love doing it in this way as well. So all of those goodies, those nuggets of goodness and wisdom that I'm sharing across my classes, we're bringing all that all together in an immersion here. And an immersion is a great way to get deep into those things and really, really get that kind of feeling going. I want us to allow our inner nature, our inner wild, to bubble up and be uncovered and blossom as the spring comes in, and just for you to shine. It's your time to shine. And I cannot wait to see it happen. So thanks for listening. And I hope you all have a great day or evening, no matter what time you're watching this. Sending so much love, and I'll see you soon.